everyone, it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you decided to stop by and hang out, and if you're returning to my channel, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button, go ahead and click the subscribe button, join the Lash Fam, you will not regret it. Today we're going to do a little side-by-side wear test of the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator versus the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer. So if you want to see how these wear throughout the day and hear my thoughts on them, then just keep watching. Okay, so on the right side we are going to test out the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. It says it has hyaluronic acid, squalene, oil-free, sheer to medium coverage. So this one is in the shade light medium. I don't know if these colors are going to coordinate or not, but I will try to make it work with my makeup application. This one is the L'Oreal Paris Light 01 Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer. This one has aloe vera and witch hazel. This one is Light 01, but I did notice that the shades were kind of hard to color match. It seemed like the light kind of went a little bit darker than I expected and the fair went a little lighter than I expected. The L'Oreal Skin Paradise does say on the back, awaken fresh glow with luminous coverage, 24-hour hydration. Obviously both of these are supposed to be a hydrating skin product that are supposed to even you out, give you a little coverage, make you look a little bit better than au naturel. So let's just go in. I think I will just do brushes for both sides. That's plural. I have two sides of my face, but I wonder what brush I want to use. These are probably my two closest match in brushes. This is the Luxie 532 on the Wet n Wild side, and this is Japanese No Number on the left side. I'm going to start with the L'Oreal Skin Paradise. I hope these colors are somewhat similar. I do have a fairly good tan going on from walking every day. I just put one little dollop on the brush, and so far on this side it is covering quite a bit of space, and I'm really happy with the coverage. I have worn both of these products alone, but I'm going to keep my opinions to myself until I do the full day wear test. I think I'm going to add just a little tiny bit more for the forehead. I probably could get just enough off of the brush to do my forehead, but I want to give it a fair shot and make sure I'm putting down enough product. The halfway between the eyebrows is always a hard part. Now I do want to point out, I obviously use the same skin prep for both sides. I used the e.l.f. Watermelon Jelly Pop Dew Primer, which I love. I did go in with a little Catrice Camouflage under the eyes to neutralize some of that blueness I get. But that covered really nicely, and the color is actually really good. And this is Light 01, and I still feel like this matches me when I have some sun. So that's what I'm saying. The colors on this were just a little difficult. Now this side is light medium, and at glance, they're pretty darn similar. So this is more the color I expected on both sides with the words like medium or like farther down the light range versus Light 01 over here. Because I can get pretty fair in the winter and still usually wear light shades of foundation. I tried to use a similar amount on the brush. I don't think this one is going quite as far, and I also don't think this one has as much coverage. This one has just a little bit more coverage. I also like the undertone of this one better for my summer shade. This one almost has a little bit of maybe a neutrally, possibly just a little peach undertone in there, where this one almost has kind of an olive undertone, and I appreciate a good olive undertone. There aren't a lot of brands out there that feature olive tones in their skin products, which I just don't understand. Like on my hand, I feel like you can see that kind of peachy tone a little bit more since my hand is fairly dark from going on all of my daily walks. I definitely feel like the brush gave a good application on both sides, I don't see like a bunch of brush strokes. Nothing looks really uneven on either side. So far, they're very comparable products. Now, they're both drugstore, but obviously the Wet n Wild is going to be cheaper. Sorry, just cleaning off my brushes because I just don't like to leave gunk on there. Let me look at these close up. Okay, the L'Oreal side might be just slightly more patchy around my lip, like where you can kind of see the pigmentation materials of the actual product itself, where this one actually is extremely smooth. This one is actually doing a little bit more for my pores than the L'Oreal. As far as dewiness goes, I think the L'Oreal has a little bit more of like a light reflecting effect in there. I'm honestly surprised right now. I do feel like my skin looks smoother and the coverage looks smoother with the Wet n Wild side. That surprises me. I'm gonna go in with my Pretty Fresh concealer on both sides. I've really been going minimal on the concealer, but since I'm wearing two different ones, I am gonna just do a little bit in the center of the face to try to kind of melt the two together so people can't tell that I'm wearing two different products. Both, I feel like, possibly could lose coverage as you're applying products on top. At least products where you're going to need to kind of buff them into the skin. But I did go in with this primer and it's really good at like gluing products down. I'm surprised at how much I've been liking hydrating, dewy products, more glowy products, because before having my daughter, I had oily skin and I could not get away with it, and now my skin is more dry, which I personally like having a little bit more normal skin. I guess I'm not dry, but from what I was before, I seem dry. I like having this more normal skin because oily skin is hard to work with and limits your products you can use. I am going to set all of this because I am a big powder person, just so used to it having oily skin before, and I also really like this Physicians Formula Mineral Wear powder because it has SPF in it, which is nice because I'm really bad about applying my SPF, and this just does it for me. Okay, I'm going to finish the rest of my face off camera and I will check back in with you in just a minute. If you are wanting to know what I put on top, I skipped bronzer today. I went in with a whole bunch of this Note Desert Rose blush, a whole bunch, and the Amrezy highlighter, and that is all I did. I skipped my setting spray as well, so we could really get a feel for the tinted moisturizers. Okay, here are both sides up close and personal. The Wet n Wild side, the L'Oreal side. Now, the thing I really noticed the most, my skin definitely looks smoother on the Wet n Wild side. Like, there's no doubt my pores look so smooth on this side. This side, like, my pores look good, but they're definitely more noticeable, and there's definitely a big difference in how, like, more, I don't want to say matte because it's not super matte, but there's a matteness to this side where this side is very glowy and radiant. I'm trying the whole fringe thing and I don't know how I'm feeling about it, but anyways, that has nothing to do with this video. Okay, so these are the two sides. I'm going to wear them all day. Right now, it is 11 a.m., so I will be wearing this all day, and I believe it's quite humid out there, so we shall see how these wear. I will see you guys later tonight. Hello. I'm looking a little disheveled. It is now 9 p.m. at night, so I've had this on all day long, and it was so hot out today, like 90 degrees, so hot. We went and did a whole bunch of activities with friends. I'm tired, and I wore a mask for several hours today, so I feel like I've really put these products through the ringer, and I have some updates for you guys, and I have some final thoughts. So again, on the right side we have the Wet n Wild, and on the left side we have the L'Oreal. Okay, off of what I look like right now, both have stayed on way better than I would have thought. Honestly, wearing the mask as long as I did and how hot it was, I really thought I would basically be naked through this area. I didn't think it was going to stand the test of the mask, and honestly, both products have stayed on really surprisingly well. I do again want to say that I really think this Jelly Pop primer is a big reason for it. It really does help keep foundations stuck on your face. So that definitely helps. As far as the looks go, I think the Wet n Wild side, I feel like my blush kind of stayed put better. I have like an equal amount of creasing on both sides, but I feel like the blush just has a little bit more oomph on this side versus this side. So also, I think the Wet n Wild side is just a little bit matter. So my pores still look better on this side. I'm still more matte on this side. The L'Oreal side isn't terribly shiny for being a moisturizing product, but I do think the Wet n Wild side looks just a little bit better. Here is the big but in this scenario. So I've worn both of these several times now. I did not notice any problems with my skin when wearing the L'Oreal product. I do feel like every time I have worn the Wet n Wild, I get a breakout, and I'm already getting a little pimple right here on the Wet n Wild side. It makes me so sad because I really love how this one looks, but if it's gonna make me break out, it's not worth it, so I think I'm gonna be returning this one. As much as I like how it looks, I just don't want to risk getting a bunch of breakouts on my skin. Have you guys used this product? Did you have a similar experience? Definitely let me know down below. But do I think it's worth trying out? I really do think it's worth trying out. Everybody's skin is different. It's very affordable, and Ulta has a really good return policy, so definitely worth trying out. Hopefully it doesn't make your skin break out. I also think the L'Oreal is worth trying. I do enjoy it. It's just like a nice product to be able to throw on so easily and just get a little coverage and just feel a little bit better about your skin and just feel like, you know, you're a little bit more ready to take on the day. At least that's how I feel when I put on my makeup. So really we're kind of at a tie here. I really like both products. If I had to pick one just based off of looks, I would pick actually the Wet n Wild side, and it is more affordable. But like I said, I'm not down for breakups. Can you tell I'm tired? For breakouts? Let me know down below what is your go-to tinted moisturizer or your favorite hydrating, simple to put on face product. Let me know down below. And that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.